All right, our app is called College App because it's used to fill out college applications, and it's an app. I'm Jenna Schaefer.
I'm Jared Nutt.
I'm Jerry Shee.
And I'm Nick Kumar. And before we start, we'd like to thank Brenda Sullivan, our mentor. She unfortunately couldn't be here today. So we know that getting into the college of your dreams is no easy feat, from standardized testing, which no one enjoys, to the application process. But we believe that the end goal is definitely worth it. Getting into college is extremely important, and we want to help as many aspiring college students as we can achieve or get into the college of their dreams.
According to the National Center for Education Statistics, there were projected to be 19.9 million students enrolling in college in 2018. Similarly, in 2011, 80% of college applicants applied to 3 or more schools. What we're alluding to is that many college students are spending an increased amount of time on their applications, and many of these students use the common application, which is only accepted by a certain amount of colleges or universities. Whereas our app, College App, would be accessible to everybody and would help make the college application process run much smoother.
All right, so what is College App? College App is an organizational planner designed for high school seniors who are going through the college application process. Our goal is to allow the user to store all of their relevant information in one place for easy and efficient use. So over the past year, I've gone through the college application process for 8 colleges, and despite my best efforts, I lost track of what colleges needed from me fairly quickly. Excel spreadsheets didn't really work, and they got really messy pretty fast. And the common application, it's only accepted, I only used it for 4 of my colleges, and it didn't give me a simple to-do list or allow me to store my academic information. So with this problem in mind, we set out to make the college application process easier for these seniors who have already strenuous senior year.
So designing the app was a long process, and there were many things that we had to consider. For the tools that we used, we developed a prototype using Proto.io. We coded with Android Studio, and we are presenting this information to you now, obviously with Google Slides. In terms of the uniqueness of our app and our project, we decided to target aspiring college students like us, rather than just the general public. And then also, this entire process kind of took a while, from the planning to making the prototype and the actual coding, which took up the vast majority of the time that we spent on this project.
This is our Proto.io prototype. We made it to where you could swipe between each of these screens. You could enter with a profile. These are the fields which you would fill out to store your information, and this was a to-do list, so you could put to-do dates, or you could put to-dos and due dates on this list. It did transform a little bit when we made the actual app, though. The organization I've already talked about, but you can put in all of this information like such. This is our end design. We did not manage to complete the navigation for the app, but you can fill in all the fields.
So, sorry.
Yeah, so all these fields are fully interactable. The only thing we didn't get to work was this button down here. This was designed to, you would add and constrain more elements, as many as you needed, to have like all your applications there. And we were hoping to implement this with the extracurricular slide too. And then in the future, we want to add a scholarship slide to where you can add all the scholarships you've applied for, whether you've gotten them, and how much like the amount is, so you can have just a running total.
Unfortunately, Android Studio is a very dense IDE with a very steep learning curve, and all the documentation is for people that already know how to completely do it, so we ran out of time.
So that pretty much summarizes the college app. We really hope that eventually everyone in here can use it, and those of us who are already seniors probably can't, but juniors, definitely a great idea. These are our credits, and yeah, that's it. We'd like to open it to questions from the panel.
So, you talked a lot about seniors. Have you thought about maybe targeting students and parents, maybe even at that 8th grade level before they come into high school? From what, having 2 older kids myself, I know we probably waited as parents too long to really start considering college. Have you considered, as those kids are taking that step from junior high to high school?
Potentially, they could use the app. All those fields you could still fill out, especially extracurriculars. Start filling those out.
Basically, once you have an idea of what college you kind of want to go to and what accolades you've already racked up, you can use the app.
Good. Good job, guys.
Around the world, over 795 million people do not have enough food to live a healthy lifestyle. That is around 1 in 9 people globally. Within McLean County alone, approximately 21,390 people are food insecure. When applying that is about 13% of our community. When applying the same statistic to our school, that means that around 293 students at Normal Community High School will go home today not knowing where their next healthy meal will come from.
Hi, I'm Justice, this is Elise. Unfortunately, 2 of our members couldn't be here today, but Good Giving is an app designed to help solve a community problem. We've partnered with Hy-Vee and the Midwest Food Bank to help solve, food hunger and try to keep people's tables full of food.
Let us demonstrate to you what we have done to show our community that we are here to help life go right.
Welcome to the home screen of the Good Giving app. For first-time users, there will be a sign-up screen to create your account. Through our partnership with the Food Bank, we have a list of anonymous accounts that are registered in our database. To create a receiver account, the email address must match that of the one in our database. Once you have logged in, the app will redirect you to the Hy-Vee domain. You will first create your shopping list by clicking Add Item to List. There will be a wide selection of Hy-Vee products that are offered in store. You will be able to click on the items to add to your shopping cart. After you have added items to your shopping cart, there will be an option to input the number of products that is needed. Once you are satisfied with your shopping list, you will send an email to goodgiving@goodgiving.com. On that same page, you will receive verification that your list has been sent. Welcome to the
On the other hand, the donator options will allow the donators to select certain lists from other people depending on their budget. This will allow donators to have more personal connection with the donations and give a better sense of satisfaction.
We have identified a significant problem within our community, hunger, and through our app, we have found the most effective way to combat this problem. We have already spoken with a representative from Hy-Vee, and they are fully on board with our endeavors. We are on a mission to show our community that we are here to help life go right.
So, and I really like the idea. The app itself, how would you say where it's at right now? Is it like obviously you've done everything, but is it in production where you can actually have it actually run the way it's supposed to run, or are you guys still working on finalizing things?
Currently, it's in development right now, still in
Okay.
an earlier stage.
Okay, good. And what language did you guys use?
Use Java.
Okay. Awesome.
My name is Ajitesh Maparu.
My name is Sherwin Newton.
I'm Jacob Rourke.
And I'm Ethan Potts, and our mentor was Quincy Corlin.
And we are bored. So we all know that State Farm's motto is help make life go right. And the life, auto, and home insurance are all necessary to help make life more comfortable. But we at Board believe that there's something more to life than comfort. So we explored facets of our life to find out if there's something more than being comfortable.
Many of our peers have had the problem of wanting to do something but not knowing exactly what to do. Here are a few quotes from some of our classmates. I hang out with my friends and we don't know what to do. I wish there was a service that made it easier to find plans and find people to do those plans with. Whenever I try to plan a date, it's really hard to find something to do. The peer market research gave us inspiration that our app is relevant and that a market for this type of service actually exists.
Using our own experiences and our own peer market research, we developed this concept called Board. Board is a rejuvenated incarnation of local search services such as Yelp or TripAdvisor. With curated streaming services at the forefront of entertainment, we at Board believe that finding something fun to do should be easy, intuitive, and curated to you. Throughout our project, we used several different services to allow for easy collaboration between our members. We used Google Classroom, GitHub, Trello, Lucid Charts, and more, each used for different components of our project. For example, Trello was an integral part of our design process because it allowed for setting timelines, to-do lists, backlogs, and more. And Google Classroom allowed for communication between us and our mentors, and GitHub was allowing us to share code in between.
So our prototype, which is shown on the left for you guys, was designed using Proto.io. In addition to the service, we used Android Studio and coded in Java to write the code for Board. We also implemented GitHub, which Sherwin said, which made code sharing between our members seamless and easy. So Board's simplistic design, which is on rotation right here, takes inspiration from some of our favorite interfaces. Bird, Yelp, and Uber are all apps that are quick and easy to use. This makes Board simple to understand, easy to use, and effortless to navigate around the app. The neutral black and white color palette allows us to contrast the GUI from images and logos that will be displayed on it. And the palette also allows us to easily accommodate to all our colored impaired customers, especially those with some sort of color blindness. Navigating the app has little to no learning curve, and once the user logs in, it displays a very obvious menu button in the top left, which allows the user to access their profile, the map, activities, the questions, or settings if they need it.
Much like popular services such as Spotify and Apple Music, we wanted to create an app that generates activities that are curated to your interest. We accomplish this by creating a quiz that the user completes after signing up for Board. Our program then learns who you are, what you like, and how you like to do it. Next time you use Board, the app will generate local activities that you will actually enjoy doing.
In the future, we plan to integrate services like Uber, Tinder, Ticketmaster, OpenTable, and Fandango to make sure that you're able to get to your location and it's easy to use. In application, it would look like this. You're bored. Your Board suggests that you go to a showing of Avengers Endgame, but without leaving the app, you go through Fandango to buy your ticket in Board. You might need a ride to the movie, so Board suggests that you take an Uber and orders the Uber through the app. Maybe after the movie you're feeling a little hungry, so Board suggests reservations to a restaurant using OpenTable. So we are Board, and we hope to take our application to the next level and make sure that you're not bored. Thank you.
You talked about using Java. Was anybody specifically assigned to actually coding and developing this particular app?
Yeah, so Sherwin took charge of the coding, but we all definitely had an input in it.
Okay, cool.
But we all had so Ethan had the logo, he designed the logo.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly planned the interface and making sure that this was similar to, and it was easy to use for people just new to the app. And Jacob helped me with that.
Awesome. Good job, guys. Very good.
Thank you.
Good morning and thank you all for coming today. I'm Malik Chera here with Ian McDonald, Tyler Cummings, and Jacob Braun, and our mentor, Shibla. And we are a helping hand. Our app's goal is to rescue food to rescue people.
The world we live in is one of plenty. Every day, restaurants and stores can afford to throw away food simply because it's going to expire soon. A helping hand is here to change the fact that 16% of Americans suffer from food availability issues. We seek to rescue food that's still safe to eat, but would normally be thrown away by the restaurant or store that it comes from. It's just as easy for the supplier, too. All you need is the app to help make life go right.
Our app is user-friendly for everyone who uses it, suppliers and receivers alike. Suppliers can send their information to our database about what food is available for donation. Likewise, receivers can post their requested database to match what is available in real time. No matter where you are around the world, it's readily available. Too, anyone with an Android phone can use it. Every day, people make promises of action. The helping hand doesn't believe in false promises. We did not just speak, we acted. Faced with a daunting task, we created a robust app, not just an idea.
Yeah, so when a user first goes on to, thank you. When a user first goes on to our app, they're taken to our login screen. From the login screen, you can you can type in your information and log in. You can hit a forgot password button, or you can go to the sign up. Due to fully show you the database and the whole capabilities of the app, and due to our time restraints, we're only going to show you the sign up. So if you can notice on their database right there, there's only three entries right now. There's only 3 accounts there. And so the user just entered the information and signed up. And when we refresh the database, which we'll do here in a second, you'll notice that the additional account is added in. And there's now 4 entries. This is a real-world implementation in real time that you can sign up an account and you can send it to the database. As you can see, we're pointing out that it works. There's 6 buttons on our main page, right? You can donate, you can receive, you can sign out, you can change your email, you can delete your account, or you can change your password. This app is ready to be used not just for its purpose, but also if you need to change your email or change your password. We thought of the things that make our app more user-friendly.
Next, we're about to see is an inside look at the interaction between users and the app, as well as donators and those who are going to receive. Here, a person is choosing to donate an item. As you can see, the questions are very simple and easy to follow, but it ultimately creates a very proficient sense of functionality and makes the data very accessible as it goes directly into the database. In addition, we thought it was very, very helpful for the user to be able to see that they've actually done it, and they can see which entries that they've made. And if they want to delete it, they can delete it, just to help with the process, making it very more user-friendly. Here, this is what it would look like from a person who's choosing to receive. It's very, very simple, just as much as donating. They can choose what item they want on the list, and they can choose how much of that item they want. And in addition to the easy process of selecting the items within the menu, there's also some criteria and algorithms that we place into the program to make sure that it's more user-friendly. For example, if a user goes over the amount, it'll show them that they're over, and it'll show them the available amount, and then it'll allow them to change whatever amount of that item they want.
So hacking, of course, is a major concern in today's world. So we contacted a real Russian hacker to test the security of our app. You'll see the video from him in a second. So Russians, they can hack almost anything, but they can't hack our app.
Again, this app is ready for implementation and deployment as we speak to alleviate the problem of hunger in the world. By connecting local pantries and donors, our app will help make life go right in no time. Our app isn't limited just to one store or one pantry. Our app is ready to be deployed to any store or any pantry, and even multiple across the world. All the users need to have is an Android phone. I want to emphasize our app is ready to go with a fully functioning database and a fully functioning authentication system. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I saw you're using Firebase.
Yes.
How was that integrating with the Android app?
Yeah. So.
How are you,
Yeah. So the reason. So we. One of the problems with the database, it's a very complex thing. Many people spend years to learn it, and obviously we only have months, right? So we looked around. We looked at MySQL. We looked at different databases, and then we found Firebase. Firebase is run by Google. Android Studio is run by Google. So they actually have an implementation in Android Studio to where you can just link your Firebase. You still have to, and it kind of takes care of some of the protocols where from the app to the database, which really made stuff easier to learn and just easier to implement.
Very good, guys. Good job.
Hi, I'm Osama. I'm Shannon Pinto.
I'm Brendan Short. Our mentor is Mike Sennett, and we created the app Homework Helper. So within the school, we've seen that a lot of people don't seek out the help they need when they need it. And so some of these reasons might be because they feel uncomfortable maybe going to a teacher after class or after school, or going to a student or another peer who could really help them. Other issues may concern the student not having time outside of school because of sports or clubs or other outside activities, or the student might just not be able to afford the private tutor that they need for the help that they need. So we created the app Homework Helper that matches students and student teachers within the school so that students don't need to leave the school during the school day to get the help that they need. It allows the student to choose from choose from a variety of anonymous tutors that are other students to help them get the help they need.
So our accomplishments, we have a finished design product for both the tutor perspective of the app and the student perspective. And in Android Studio, we created the initial screen, which will prompt the student to select which classes they need help with, and so it'd start with general and then be more specific. So this would be the home screen where you could either choose either a student or a tutor to log in. The left side would be student, the right side would be the tutor.
So for the tutor one, it's the same thing. It's just a slightly different variation of it because we worked on two different laptops.
So then it would ask for the basic information, your school, the address, and your age, and then contact information. Ideally, we want to, because we want the students and tutors be matched with people within their own school, it would see the school address, make sure you're within the same school so you get matched with someone within your school.
For the tutor as well, you'd sign up with the necessary information and then you'd begin creating your actual account.
And then after you put in your basic information, it'll start with the core subjects, what you need help with, English, math, science. And then once you select that, it'll say which more specific class you need. And you can also select what time you're available during the school day.
So for the tutor, you can pick out of the general classes like math, English, science, or you can click other and type in a more specific class and then typing it out and hitting OK.
So then once you've put in your information, for the student, it'll pop up with different tutors and you can scroll through and choose which one. And it all depends on the student's availability and the tutor's availability. So if you want someone for a 4th hour in the IMC and you need help with pre-calc, you click I want this tutor. If that's not what you want and you need help with algebra 1st hour and you can meet in the senior cafe and you can pick that tutor.
So for the tutor, if you were to pick a general class like math, it will take you to the slide where you'd see more specific classes that fall underneath that category. And they can pick throughout all of these if they want, the ones they're qualified to teach, and hit submit and their account has been created. So basically, once a user has selected this tutor to be their tutor, they will receive a prompt letting them know, and they can accept the offer, and begin chatting.
So yeah, once you've been matched, you can, because you put in your contact information, you can text your tutor if you had any questions. If you don't, you can just meet up with them or send a text confirming that you can meet.
In Android Studio, we were able to create the list that you saw earlier in Proto.io, where you're able to choose from a general selection of courses, and then when you choose one, you're able to go to a more specific selection. So here is the general view. So this is what we have when you start. And for this example, I selected math. And when you go to the next slide, after you select math, the second box fills, and you're able to select from a lot of different math courses, so algebra or calculus or computer science. And then once you've selected your course and then your more specific class, you're able to hit submit, and it will tell you what you selected.
Future improvements. One thing we wanted to add for tutors was incorporate a point system. So if they were to host a session, they would receive points, and with that, they could redeem prizes. On the other hand, for students, we wanted them to be able to schedule reoccurring classes. So if a student wanted help every Tuesday with a subject, they could schedule that. Additionally, students should be able to rate their tutors in a way giving them feedback if they were helpful or not. Finally, we want to add a penalty system for missed tutor sessions. So if you were to miss a session, you would receive a strike, and once that adds up to 3 strikes, your account will be locked temporarily. Overall, we want to help life go right with our app because this will help students receive the help they need and perform well in school. Thank you.
Great idea. Wish it was around when I was in school. From a mentor perspective, how do you think about how you guys go about finding mentors to be able to, do they volunteer? Do they, how do you find that tutor, that mentor?
It would be volunteer based, so students probably in honors or AP classes that are that have free time. Well, actually, if they're just willing to help students, they would go onto this app and sign up as a tutor.
Because you can also help during, if you take a study hall, you can also help student during that time period.
Or lunches. Lunches is another good time where we thought students could help each other, especially seniors, because we don't have homeroom anymore. So we have that extra 15 minutes where we have time to help each other or do homework, something like that.
I like your future improvements too. Holding people accountable for. We even find the same issues at State Farm. We have people volunteer to do things and they don't show up to do it and stuff like that. So we appreciate you doing that. And so you talk about rewarding the mentor or the tutor in this case. Is it based on how well they do in the class, the student that they're tutoring, how well they do on a test? How are you going to figure that out?
Well, we can do it a multitude of different ways, and that's one of them. Other ways could just be like how they were rated by the student, or just for even showing up and working for the amount of time. And that's just a small thing because students don't, high school students don't always think they have the time that they have.
Yep.
So we needed an incentive.
Very good.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sunny, this is Nathaniel, and this is Banda, and we're here to talk to you about Concilium. Concilium is an Android app that is the culmination of our initiative to help high school students succeed. And in this presentation, we're going to be talking to you about the conception of the idea itself, the development process, our current progress, and how we hope to take Concilium in the future. So when we were approached with State Farm's theme for this year, Here to Help Life Go Right, our main goal was to create an idea that would essentially reach the broadest audience possible within the community. And we came to the realization that the need for improvement is prevalent within people amongst ourselves. High schoolers face many challenges within their student lives, many of whom may come from impoverished or under-resourced environments where the resources needed to overcome these challenges may be limited. And this goal is what drives our goal to combat this by providing students with the resources needed to succeed. And this goal is what drove Concilium. And Concilium is the Latin term for plan or guide. And our mission with Concilium is to guide students in managing their student lives with a one-step, multi-use app. And it may seem like a kind of an arbitrary idea considering the massive influx in productivity apps in the past few years. However, there is nothing that is student-oriented, free, universal, and simple to use. We want our users to find our app to be worthwhile and worth using. And considering this project to be a massive undertaking, we would like to showcase our minimum viable product, which is a student planner, which will help students to track their assignments and keep organizational skills at a high.
Okay, so when we started thinking about our app, we decided, we kind of want something for ourselves. So we narrowed the audience to high school students, and well, also it can work for other students, but mainly aimed at high school students. So we realized that the issue was organization and planning. It's not very simple with most apps, and when you open it, it's not quick at all. There are many forms to fill out. So we took our idea of a student planner app and made a survey and asked the class what they would like in a student planner, and then we sketched our ideas.
For development, we prototyped our app in Proto.io so we can plan out what we want our app to be and how we want it to look like. In Android Studio, we created the basic functionalities so you can, it's very basic, but you can create at least one assignment. In Trello, we used Trello to keep track of what to do, and we planned out what each one of us needed to work on. GitHub we used to share our files, and then we used Google Classroom to stay in contact with our mentor.
So this is our prototype using Pro.io. So what we mainly wanted to showcase was the main screen of the app, where you're going to be spending most of your time, where colors are going to be used to pretty much highlight each of the individual classes, and you're going to pretty much on the main screen you're going to use the three. Let's see. Okay, well, okay, so you can add a class there's a sub-menu in the upper left-hand corner where you're going to be managing your extra options that you most likely won't be using from your day-to-day use in the app. But on the main screen, you're going to be looking at 3 items. One to add an assignment, a second one to share your assignments with your fellow classmates, and a third button to delete assignments that you accidentally added. Most of the time, but in the sub-menu, you're going to set a whole lot of presets, which you're going to want to use so that when you open the app and set an assignment, you'll most of the time only have to hit confirm. Yeah.
And this is the app's base functionality. It lets you create a single assignment and enter the name of the assignment, the type of the assignment, and the due date. And it will store that as and you can access it, keep track of your assignment. And you can also delete your assignment.
So the main viable product, or the minimum viable product that we have shown you today, focuses on simply one aspect of the app itself. We plan to expand Concilium to reach all facets of student life. One such feature will be a built-in student profile or resume builder of sorts, which is simple to use, and it encourages students to store their extracurriculars, work experience, and grades in order to keep track of their progress throughout high school. Simultaneously, another feature will allow students to explore their futures and record their college and career plans in a structured, meaningful manner. And we also hope to implement sharing capabilities, third-party sharing capabilities across the board, so that way students can share information, whether that be assignments or their resume, easily and efficiently. And our team also recognizes that while storing this data, this may be in conflict with privacy laws regarding minors, and we hope to implement encryption for our users and also optimize the app in order to be in compliance with these laws. We thank you guys for coming, and we'd also like to extend a special thanks to Carrie Craven as well as Mrs. Feeney for helping us throughout the year, and we're open to any questions.
I was just going to ask you just a quick question with, so it seemed like there's a lot that from donors and students. Did you talk to any students, so for your user group, and get their input at all?
So at the beginning, during the brainstorming process, we gave a survey to the class to ask what features would you find most usable in your day-to-day life, or what would you find to be most effective or usable, essentially. And we also asked them a general question as to what things do you see wrong in your life, or what can you, how can we develop an app that would be able to solve those issues.
Thank you.